Hey Fit Fam, it is Coach Rod from Team Flex. Today we're going to be looking at a wellness class from the Gold Coast, Class A. We're going to talk about the competitors, talk about the placings, why they may have landed the way they did, and what it means for you as a wellness competitor out there trying to do your best on stage 2025. No matter if you've never competed before, you're already competing, you're trying to get a pro card, you're already a pro. I make these videos to hopefully give you all better insight into how you can be doing better on stage. That's what we do. So if you like that idea, those thoughts, hang out, subscribe. A lot more coming. So much more is coming. All right, let's get down to it. So Class A from the Gold Coast, our season is kind of rolling out now. We're starting to see a lot more happen. Arnold just happened. Show's going to be filling up. So time to get yourself stage ready if you're going to be competing this year. And this is Class A Wellness. So fun fact, my client, Yvonne, right here, is the class winner. So just a little bit fun that we can review that. A lot of times when I have clients that are competing, I don't even review those competitions, but maybe I'll start doing it more. Maybe I'll just bring it through because I can actually give you better feedback since I actually coach the folks on the screen in some instances. So maybe we'll do that. That's Yvonne there. She wins the class. Over here is Damaris. She takes second. And over here is Alexandra. She takes third. So these are the athletes in this class, Class A from the Gold Coast. Let's break it down a bit. Wellness. So first thing I want to say, a lot of people have been asking me, I don't understand what all these competitions are. Gold Coast, what is this? Fit Challenge, what is that? Okay, so these are local regional events, just like the ones you're probably going to do, those of you watching here. The competitions that happen in your town or within driving distance from you or whatever, and they have all these different places, different names, one's in Mississippi, one's in Texas. Okay, wherever you're at, these are those local regional events, right, that you would probably be doing. So this is very realistic looks into what you would see on an NPC stage. And that's really why I do these. Try to do a lot more of the NPC reviews than even the pros, because the pros, we're talking about the same 10 people a lot, and everybody kind of gets the idea. When you look at the NPC, this is where you're competing. This is where those of you watching are probably going to be competing, right? So it's a very good look into what you actually may encounter at events in your area. So that's why we do this. But anyway, all right. So Yvonne, right? Wellness, Damaris, wellness, Alexandra, wellness. Everybody on here, it has a wellness look, which is the lower body dominant look that we want to see in this division. Okay. So everybody needs to have pretty big quads, pretty big glutes, a lot of development going on. And we're seeing even at the pro level, this being pronounced even more and more now. Very streamlined look. Judges do not want a lot of upper body. They want you to have some upper body, some shape and roundness and fullness. We'll talk about that, but they don't want you overdone in the upper body, right? So let's take a look at Yvonne here, my client. She wins this class. And here is some reasons that, that may have happened. Realistically, upper body wise, you do still want to show some shape to the shoulder. You want to have that fullness, that roundness. You never want it to overpower your lower body, right? So realistically here, she has that shoulder shape. She has a little bit bigger delts than the other ladies in her class here. And that may be an indicator to judges, okay, she's got a little bit more muscle, which again is where wellness goes. And you can still see it looking lower body even, and you'll especially see when we get to the back pose here. She's definitely dominant in the lower body. You still got a lot more size in the lower body and quads. It's hard. It's always hard to see in the wellness front pose, right? Like the wellness quarter turn pose would honestly be an easier pose to look at as far as muscle density and stuff. But the wellness front pose, you can't always see it, right? It can look like that, but realistically, we'll see when we get to the back. You'll see what I mean by this. But she's definitely very much a lower body dominant, showcases that well. Tapering at the waist here, everything you want to see in this division, and on par with conditioning where you have these soft lines, separations, glutes, abdominals, shoulders, everything there. That's what we see in wellness. Wellness conditioning should be on par with bikini, should not be a soft as fit model. It is not, and it won't be at your competition either, okay? Looking over here at Damaris, a lot of similarities, right? So it's good shoulder shape overall, tapers into the waist well, comes down to the lower body, glutes, hamstrings, a little bit here, quads as well. For her, it's a little bit more of a symmetrical look, not as lower body dominant in my opinion, which could be a factor, and doesn't have maybe as much of that shoulder size. However, class takes second, that's great. Still represents criteria well, and keep in mind, these are things that you will encounter at your local competitions. You will see a lot of, differences in how each athlete brings their physique to stage. And that's, again, what you get to do as a competitor. You get to really maximize your look in the way that you want to do it. And that's a great thing. Looking over here at Alexandra, basically same similarities, shoulder shape's all good here, tapers in at the waist, lower body muscle here, balance, not really. She's got a lot of lower body muscle, and that's good. You want to be asymmetrical, so not as balanced maybe as number 2, second place here in the group, where she looks a little bit more balanced, still wellness look, don't get me wrong, but maybe just a tad more balanced. Now let's go to the back post, because this is where, I always say wellness, one from the back, bikinis, one from the back. Really, all the women's divisions figure one from the back. I mean, that's how it goes. And even in the men's divisions, you could really say the same thing. But this is where I think you get some clear differences. If you're looking at the fronts and you're like, okay, see what you're talking about, Coach Rice, not all that different to me, though. I'm not really getting the full message. Okay, well, here's where we're at. So Yvonne here, class winner, my client in the middle. Again, you just want to show a little bit of that shoulder shape, and I think we really nailed that, bringing that through just a little bit from the back. That's great. And then obviously lower body's got to take the show here, and that was a very dominant look for her in this group, in this lineup at this competition period, right? Because we can see a lot of glute size and shape, upper glute fullness and roundness that's required, this separation between the glutes and the hamstring tie-in, and the quad sweep from the back. So really slam dunked this look from the back, in my opinion. And, I'm not trying to be biased, but, definitely think we really nailed that look for wellness. And the judges obviously agree, wins the class. Now let's move down a little bit here, and we see a lot of similarities, but some clear differences as well. So Damaris looks a little bit more, balanced from her pose here. We can see the shoulder shape is all good. Everything tapers in well. Not as much of a difference, though, in lower body as her compared to Yvonne, right? Like you can see everything's still there. Good glute shape overall, upper glute, everything's there. Quad sweep, boom. But not as much muscle. So again, clear message from judges like, hey, we want a lot of muscle in wellness and we want it in lower body. So let's focus on that. Looking over here at Alexandra, overall, everything's there. Her hair is not down here, and I don't know if she did this on purpose or not, but typically this is not a great move to make for judges, because judges do not score your back in wellness and they don't want to see it. So it can actually hurt you sometimes, right? Because judges can look at it, for example, and they'd be like, oh, well, she's real lean up here. Well, she might be too lean, or so on and so forth, right? So not a good move to have your hair down in the back pose. For anybody watching, don't do that. It will not help you place better unless you're in figure, right? If you're going in figure, then ignore what I'm talking about. But wellness, come on, you don't want to be doing that. That's not the best place to do it. Looking lower body now, she's got obviously the size and everything, the shape that she needs. She does seem to be a little bit off with condition, so we're not getting as much with the tie-ins or as much of the separations and the muscle groups and so on, which is what you would see with an athlete who might need to tighten up their condition. So I obviously don't know what these ladies' feedback was or anything else. I could tell you, that it's going to be different for everybody. But realistically, these things are going to be around those areas as we talk about them, as far as where you want to go in wellness. You want to bring in, your condition overall, bring in the size, lower body, and really showcase that well, and still have the shape to the upper body as well. I can tell you with Yvonne what we're going to be doing, because we plan to, try to go get a pro card this season. And all that I'm really going to have her do is continue to emphasize lower body, bring out the quad sweeps a little bit more. We're going to work on that upper glute a bit more, try to probably pull out this tie-in just a little bit more, and overall tighten up condition, because going to nationals, you will have to have tighter level of condition than she had at this event. And that's just how it goes. That's, again, you want to know how to do that, right? Every event is going to be different. You don't want to bring national level condition to, Gold Coast or a local competition a lot of times, because you actually won't place well. You got to be pretty on par with the group of people. So, for her, from here on, if we go to nationals, which is our plan as it sits, we haven't planned an exact date yet, but I will be bringing in, better condition with her and so on and so forth, because that's what it will require. So again, advantages you learn from having a coach, folks. And, if you want to check out wellness style workouts, train with me free for a week. We have a free trial. You can check that out. Link in the description. No obligation. You don't pay for it. You don't put card info in. You don't get charged. It never happens, right? It's just another way for you to gain better insight. If you want me to show you some real deal wellness workouts and teach you a little bit more, I mean, it blows my mind the amount of people that say, I watch your channel, learn so much, and they haven't done the trial. Like, The trial's 1,000 times better than what I'm doing for you here on YouTube. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you want some more competitions. You want me to review yours, drop it in the comments and I'll do that. All right. Thank you for watching. Coach Ryan is out.